GPS Gold Squad members, today I have the honor of hosting here on our platform my favorite creator, Ankur Warikoo. He is author of so many books. Today I like to talk about Make Epic Money, and he also make epic career, make epic shit, and get epic shit done. And I think you are writing maybe a book every month now. So yes, thank you so much everyone for hitting the love emojis on the screen. It is with a very warm heart and a lot of happiness that I welcome you here today, Ankur.
Thank you so much, Saleha. Firstly, thank you so much. This is so wonderful. It's so lovely to see you conduct a live class. And I don't know if she's already mentioned, but she was one of the best and the most discerning, most committed students that we had when we launched our online teaching courses business. And clearly, you've done so well for yourself with launching your own course and having such wonderful participants as well. Congratulations on that, and a warm welcome and good evening to everyone who's listening in. It's a pleasure to be here.
So thank you so much. And you are not only a prolific writer, and your writing style is completely different. What I enjoy most about the videos that you create is the way you make things simple, complex things simple for people. And that is something that we would expect in this interaction also. I'll be asking you certain questions, and then my community members will be asking you certain questions.
Absolutely.
You are, because of this ability to make complex things simple, you are one of the best loved creators in our country today, and a very warm welcome. And the first question that I'd like to ask you is, you are asking people to make epic money. Why? Why is money important for people, and how important is it? Why should people make epic money at all?
That's a great question to start with. I think the concept of money is very misunderstood, particularly in our culture, because I remember growing up almost hating money because we never had enough. And I always thought that that was the reason for all of our misery. It was the reason for all of our fights in the family. It was the reason for all of the sadness and unhappiness. The reason why my parents continued to struggle, and my sister and I, we couldn't do what we wanted to do, and so on. So I frankly had a very victim mindset where I blamed money for everything. And I wanted to never have money take the better of us or get the better of us or be above us in any way. And because of that, the worst mistake that I made is that I always disrespected money. I always thought that money should be something that I dismiss. Money should be something that will always be my servant. Money should always be something that's below me. And even though I had the ability to earn money because of the hard work of my parents, the luck, the destiny, the blessings that all came along, I never really, in any right, paid respect to money. And I realized that that was a huge mistake until very late in life, because the reason why one should respect money is because it gives you the freedom to live life the way you want. The purpose of money is not to buy things. The purpose of money is not to buy a car or to buy a house or to buy a phone or to buy clothes. Yes, please do all of that. But the biggest purpose of money is to give you the freedom that you want to live life the way you want. Do you want to work or not? Where do you want to work or not? Where do you want to stay or not? What do you want to eat or not? What do you want to wear or not? Who do you want to work with or not? All of these are choices that most people cannot exercise because they do not have the money to. And today, when I have the money, I know that I can work from home. I know that I can travel for a lot of days with my family. I know that I can choose to work with some people and not choose to work with some of the people. I can choose to work for only 4 hours a day and not have to work for 12 hours a day. I can choose to take a day off or have an afternoon nap or eat the best quality food or go to the best gyms and take care of my body the best manner possible, all of which is supported by money. And I think when I realized that money is the escape or the way to live life on my terms, that's when I began to respect money the way it is. And I'm so glad that me and my entire family, we're not capitalists. We're not, we don't run after brands. We don't run after status. We don't run after bringing a grander image than what we are to the world. We just care about having a really high quality life. And we're so blessed that we have the money to do that. And it only came once I began to see money for what it is worth.
Are you loving the value in this video? Then watch till the end and fuel me up to bring you more. Hit the like button, tap the bell icon to subscribe, and share this with your awesome friends. Thank you so much. Unknowingly, as you said, in our culture, we have been thinking that money is not great or it is below me. We should not have money. And because of that, people, good salary earners, like the kind of people that we have today on this platform, we make mistakes. And you just agreed that you've made mistakes. I have made mistakes. So what are some of the common mistakes that good salary earners make in their life?
There are particularly three, and not in any particular order. Number one is the mistake of wanting to get rich quickly. When you are growing up in a middle class environment, when you're constantly struggling, when you've seen your parents struggle, and you have also, it's this race to become rich very quickly. It's this race to become a crorepati or a millionaire by a certain age. And you really can't explain why, because it's not that if you get $1 million, you'll be able to spend $1 million. It's just that you want $1 million. You can't explain why. You don't know what, but it's just like, mujhe crorepati banna hai. So the one mistake is when you do try to get rich quickly, you take shortcuts or higher than required risk to make that happen, because there's no sane or risk friendly way of getting rich quickly. So that's mistake number one. Mistake number two is that they over index themselves on the salary, thinking that that is the only source of income. And you also touched upon that, Saleha, in the slides that I just saw when I was waiting in the waiting room, that your salary is not your only source of income. It's one source of your income. And yes, it could be the dominant source of your income, but it shouldn't be the only source of income. You should have a side income. It needn't be really grand. Your investment should also turn into an income at some point of time. The truth is that if you start really early, or even the age that we are all at, but you do judiciously an investment, then very quickly, certainly before your retirement age, that investment becomes your income. Because every year, if you have, let's say, hypothetically, 1 crore of a corpus, and you're earning 10%, you're earning 10 lakhs a year absolutely free for no work at all. You don't have to even lift a finger, and you will be earning 10 lakhs because somebody else whose stock you have invested in or whose mutual fund you have bought is working really hard to make that 10 lakhs for you. And that's ridiculous, because we don't think like that. We think, oh, I need to have a salary of 10 lakhs, or I need to have a salary of 20 lakhs. No, you could very well have a corpus of 1, 2, 3 CR and earn that money for free without ever having to work. So number two, the mistake is your salary is your only income. And then number three is you need to be an expert at managing money to make money. And that is frankly what I also thought for the longest time. Like, I need to know what stocks to buy. I need to know when to time the market. I need to know which assets are there. I need to know which real estate property to invest in. I need to know when to buy gold, how much to buy. No, you don't need to. You actually need to be an expert at making money and then give it to the experts to manage your money. So I often say we are very passive with our income and very active with our investments. We are very passive with our income, like, if we are in a terrible job, or if we are in a job that we don't particularly like, we're like, chal raha hai, theek hai, ab to, what will we change at 40? What will we change at 35? It's okay, like, just gulp down the bitter medicine and move on. But we're on the phone with a friend, ye stock kharid lo, ye stock bech lo, you're checking your portfolio every day, you're swiping down, you're seeing how it's moving. And I think it should be the exact opposite. You should be very active with your income. You should constantly be aware of where you're making money from, how can you make money, and so on, and become passive with your investment. Just invest in an SIP or in a regular form every month and forget about it. Over a 10, 20-year period, you will have way more money than you can ever imagine to be. So partly you have answered my next question, but nevertheless, a lot of us may have made mistakes. And a lot of people here in this group today would be 40 or plus 40. So what would you suggest if we have made mistakes and we might be thinking that, okay, I'm already, past this age where I can make a lot of money and retain all that money. So what is the anti-aging cream here? So I'll tell you what are the good and bads of being at the age that we are. I'm also 45, so I completely recognize where all of you are. And believe me when I say this, I've had money in my life only in the last 5 years. For 40 years, I did not have money in my life. I was always struggling because I did not understand how money is. And which is why most of my content comes from a point of mistakes and awareness that I now have, as against expertise that I've come because of virtue of decades of experience or anything like that. So when you're young, let's say when you're 20, 25, what you have is time. And that's amazing because you can invest for 30, 40 years and let compounding happen. But what you don't have is money. So you can only start with, say, a 500 rupee SIP or a 2000 rupee SIP. When you are in your 40s, what you don't have is as much time, but what you have is money because you're earning a lot more. So you can invest a lot more, and that could in some way compensate for itself or not. So to give you a sense, and let me, if you allow me, Saleha, I would love to share my screen. Can I get some, can I get the
yes.
screen
Give me
right?
a moment. I've made you co-host, so you can share now, Ankur.
Perfect. Great. Yep, I see it. All right. So I am on what's called a step up calculator. All right. And the way that this works is that you make a monthly investment. So let's say you are in your 20s and you start with an investment, which is a nominal amount of 2000 rupees. You say that I'm going to step this investment up by a certain percentage every year. And let's pick a number because you can't really commit at that point of time, 5%. And let's say you're going to have a expected rate of return of about 12%. Now, if you were to invest in, let's say, an index mutual fund, you are quite likely to get 12% over a long period of time. If you're 25, you can invest for, say, 35 years. So let's say what happens if you invest for 35 years. You have invested your own money of about 21.6 lakhs. You've made money of 1.5 CR in the return. So your total corpus when you're 60 is 1.72 crores. It's not a bad number. But let's say you're now
35
40.
years.
Yeah, or let's say 40, right? You're now 40.
No,
and
the time period is 35 years.
Yes, the time period is 35 years, right? So you started at 25 and you want to go all the way to 60. Okay. So for 35 years, you invested and you had a corpus of 1.72 crores, which for somebody who started at 2000 is not a bad outcome at all.
Not at all.
Let's say you're 40. And now you're like, you know what? People say you should be compounding for 35 years, but I've already lost that time. What can I do? I'm already late. No, you're not. Let's say this 20,000, no, sorry, 2,000, you can invest 25,000 because you're at the age of 40. And you're earning that much that you can afford to make this investment. Maybe you're earning, say, a lakh or 2 lakh rupees a month and so on. And you can devote about 20, 25% of that. Let's say you can also say, you know what, for the next 20 years, I can actually make a contribution of about 10% step up. I'm again going to get about the 12%, but now instead of the 35 years, I only have 20 years. At the age of 60, you'll have 4.65 crores.
Okay, not bad.
Even if you were to do 5%, you will have 3.18 crores. Even if you were to do 20,000, you will have 2.55 crores. Even if you were to do it for 15 years, you will have 1.23 crores. You can essentially compensate time for the quantum without taking any additional risk. And the biggest mistake, Saleha, that people make is at our age, assume that we are late and never start. Exactly. Like time khatam ho chuka hai, ab hum nahi kar sakte kuch, and never start. Please start. It is ridiculous how easy it is to make money. And I'm only talking 12%. Huh? If you were to slightly take higher risk, you could go to 15% and fundamentally, even with 20,000 rupees a month of investment, retire with over 10 crores.
It was wonderful how you showed that calculation. Okay, हमने तो गलतियां कर ली. In our culture, we have been hearing many things. Because of that, we made mistakes. Now, a lot of people here have children. So, and what are the lessons that you are teaching your children where money is concerned, Ankur?
You know, it's a fascinating question. I can go on and on about parenting. The most important lesson that Ruchi, my wife, and I care about teaching Vidur and Uzma, which are our two kids, is Don't ever, 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 ever believe that the money you have is because of your hard work. It's not.
Wow.
You just got lucky. You just got plain lucky. Just as we got lucky because we were born in our parents' family that took care of us, gave us food, shelter, upbringing, love, education, blah, blah, blah. You also got the same lottery ticket. You have not done anything to deserve where you are. So when you sit in your fancy car and when you're having that really expensive, whatever, drink or pizza or cold coffee or whatnot, and if somebody comes knocking on your door begging for money, don't ever in your mind say, if only you worked harder, you would be where I am. Because that's not true. Not all success is hard work. Not all failure is laziness. There is something called privilege. Our job as parents is not to snatch away the privilege from you. It's not to make you walk on the street, go and travel in a metro, or go and buy vegetables on the street or anything like that. Sure, God bless, we are privileged and you don't have to do that. But our job is to constantly remind you of your privilege. You can't take your privilege for granted. You can never treat anybody like shit. You can never treat anybody like they don't deserve to be where they are. You can't deserve or say that I deserve to be where I am. You're constantly in a sense of gratitude. And if you can live life with gratitude for everything and entitled to nothing, you'll do well in life. We've also very categorically told them that we're only funding you till your education. After that, you're on your own. We're not leaving you anything. All of our will, if we do end up with any inheritance, is going to go to a trust that will not be for you. It will be donated to the education of other kids who can't afford it. So you're not getting anything except perhaps a house that we already have, but no money is coming your way after your education, and that is also till undergrad. Your master's is also your responsibility. We're hoping that they don't go to that level at all. I'm very convinced that Uzma is 9 years, and I'm convinced that she will not go to college. I think college at her time when she needs to go to college will be useless. But we'll come to that. But that is the very clear agreement, and it's so far working out well because. No, it's about scarcity. It's about the small things that you do, like when they get these 1,000 gifts on their birthday. It's a very clear rule that you can open all of them up. You can see what they are, but you're only allowed to take 3. And when you take 3, you have to discard 3 that you already have, so that you always have the same number of toys and you never have an abundance of it, because it's just ridiculous for you to keep gathering. It's the same thing for your clothes. It's the same thing for everything. It always needs to be the same exact number. So they recognize that they will not be like, itna paisa hai ki kuch bhi ho sakta hai, not allowed. It's the same way that we live our life. It's the same way that we have encouraged them to. And we'll see. It's still an experiment. So after 10 years, if they don't work out, I'll be the first one back on Saleha's course saying that, you know what, it didn't work out. All that I was saying was bullshit. I hope you didn't follow me.
This was so powerful. Mind blown. Okay, one last question from me, and then I'll ask the others to ask questions. So in your book, you talk about the rich mindset and the wealthy mindset, and how to build the right mindset about money.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things. So, no, people always think of between rich and poor, but I think of the wealthy mindset and the poverty mindset. The wealthy mindset has nothing to do with you being rich. It's how you think about money. And the poor mindset has nothing to do with you not having money, but how you think about money. For example, there are enough people who have a lot of money, but they live life as if they don't. And it's almost like a miserable life. You don't want to ever be them because they're always stingy. They're always thinking about that money. They're never able to enjoy that money. It's like, kya hi fayda fir is paise ka if you're not able to even do it and you work so hard for it. But here's a very simple distinction about the wealthy and the poor mindset. The poor mindset says, I make an income every month. Then I spend on things every month. And then whatever is left, if there is left, I invest. So they basically make money, spend that money, and then whatever is left, invest. The wealthy mindset is exactly the opposite. The wealthy mindset says, I will earn, but before I spend on that EMI, on that house, on that food, on that clothing, on that entertainment or whatnot, trying to fill in someone else's pocket, I will first invest. So when I get my money, the first thing that I do is invest. And then whatever is left is how I manage my month. And that means you are paying yourself first. Like if you really think about it, if you really boil it down, our money comes on the first, second, fifth, whatever of the month. And the first thing happens, the bank takes away our money for EMIs. The landlord takes the money for rent. The Blinkits and Zeptos take the money for grocery. The Amazons take money for everything. The school takes money for the fees. The Ola Ubers take money for this. Everyone is getting paid. Everyone is getting paid. And at the end of it, if we had a good month, yes, we may pay ourselves. If we did have a bad month or किसी की शादी हो गई और कहीं तोहफे देने पड़ गए or something like that, we're like, okay, never mind. I will postpone my future to the next month. Why? I'd say pay yourself. And I know that sounds really ridiculous because you may then say, oh, if I have paid myself and I don't have enough money left to fulfill the needs that I have for the rest of the month, that's precisely what the struggle and hard work should be. You should be as scared of missing your SIP as you are of missing your EMIs.
Or more.
But we're not. We are the first ones to pause our SIP if things go bad, and we're always trembling with fear if we miss our EMIs. And I'd say both of them deserve the absolute same respect. You make it happen, you're wealthy in your mindset, because then compounding will take over, and in a few years, not a few, but let's say 10, 20 years, you'll be home.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. And now I am opening the platform to everyone. Please raise your virtual hands and I think Ankur can take only so many questions. We have around 10 minutes left or 7 minutes left, and one by one, I'll invite you. So
Go ahead, Megha.
Inviting Megha first. I'm adding you to Spotlight. Megha, please go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, thank you so much, Saleha, for this opportunity, and I'm so excited to talk to Ankur. So, my question, Ankur, is, see, you have been the pioneer in building personal brand. You have started this journey, quite a few years ago. Now I'm coaching a lot of professionals to build their personal brand on LinkedIn platform and start their side hustles so that, they can have the second stream of income. So now my question is, if you were to start this personal branding journey today in the year 2025, looking at the scenario, AI and everything, how would you do it differently? Being a professional coming from a corporate background, what would you be doing differently than when you started earlier?
If I really answer that question honestly, Megha, I would not do anything differently, because the thing that's worked for me and that my understanding is of not just social media, but the algorithms, as much as they keep changing, is the one thing that they absolutely value is consistency. And the one thing that people value is authenticity. And if you combine these two, you are bound to win. What AI can give you is consistency. What it cannot give you is authenticity as much as a real person can. What a real person can give is authenticity, but what it can't deliver as much is consistency. And that's why most creators fail. They fail not because they're not authentic or they're not consistent. It's because doing both is intensely hard. And I remember tweeting about this in 2020 when everyone during COVID was creating content and everybody was running webinars and everybody was running courses. I remember tweeting that it doesn't matter who is creating content today. What matters is when all of this will be over and who will still be creating content. And the truth is, when everything was over and people went back to their offices and people got back to their real lives, 90% people stopped creating content because they always had an excuse. Oh, I'm busy. Oh, no, this came over. Or that happened. Oh, no, it's really hard to be committed. Or it's really hard to be authentic. Or it's really hard to be vulnerable. But you know what? That works. That always works. Human connection is formed on storytelling. It's formed on authenticity. It's formed on vulnerability. And it's formed on consistency. And if you deliver authentic, consistent content, you build trust. And if you build trust, people will follow you.
Awesome. And one more extension to this. As I said, AI is taking a lot of jobs. We already know the statistics, what is happening. A lot of people are losing their jobs. And we are talking about financial freedom and financial stability here. So what, three things any mid-career professional should start doing if they really want to secure their future in the world of AI when everything is volatile?
The only thing that everyone can do, and that's is not just for seasoned professionals such as ourselves, but even youngsters, I say the same thing. Please make AI your friend. And when you do that, don't use AI to create your work, use AI to elevate your work. The big mistake you could make is to start using AI to draft your emails, to make your presentations, to do your scripting, to do your editing. No, you cannot use AI to create your work, because if you do that, you sound like everybody else and you've also stopped your thinking cells. What you need to do is put out your first draft yourself and then use AI as a mentor, as a coach, as a guide to give you feedback. So when I draft my scripts or my emails or any piece of content, I will throw it back into AI and be like, become my worst critic and give me brutal feedback on what is not working. I don't want you to fix it. I will fix that myself. But I need you to recognize what needs to be worked on or what needs to be fixed. And I love the fact that I have now a teacher, which is $20 a month, and perhaps the finest teacher that I can get. And it is so conversational, it is so navigational, and I use it in the best manner possible because I'm not using it as a crutch, but I'm using it as a support system to become taller.
Okay,
Thank you so
I'll
much. Thank
now
you so much.
ask Javed, because thank you, Megha. I'm removing you from Spotlight and adding Javed to the Spotlight. Javed, please go ahead with your question.
Hey Ankur, Javed here. I'm a great fan of yours, and I've been following your YouTube videos for quite a while. I just have, and I come from an IT sector, which is currently undergoing a lot of turmoil, but I still believe there is a lot of good future ahead because of AI and the technological changes happening in the world. I have a question for you, two questions for you. One is, I strongly believe that the themes which have made the money in the past are not the same themes which is going to make the money in the future. So, what are the top five themes which you feel that where we should focus and that is going to give us a lot of return in the next 10 to 15 years, at least till the time I retire?
And when you say the top five themes, do you mean professionally or from an investment perspective?
From an investment perspective.
Oh, from an investment perspective, I wouldn't even know. And frankly, I wouldn't even care, Javed, because that's the job of the experts to figure out and not my business. The way that I invest my money, and I can only speak for myself, is I do not pick assets, I pick portfolios. So I am a active mutual fund investor, and I will allow the mutual fund manager to decide what they want to invest in and how. I love index funds. I also invest in, say, active mutual funds, but all of them would be managed by somebody who I trust. I would invest in funds which are managed by people who I trust again. And I am very passive with my investments. As I said, I just invest and then assume that I'm only going to look at them after 10, 20 years, by which time they would have done their magic or not. And I am only monitoring them for my income tax returns once every year, which incidentally is happening right now. And that was when I looked at what had happened in the last 1 year. And I was like, okay, not so bad. But I'm very patient and I'm very, very long. I do not actively track which stock, when to buy, when to sell. I don't do any trading or any intraday. I don't do any F&O, nothing whatsoever. I'm a pure stocks delivery guy, much like being boring.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I think I just have one more question for you. There is even a YouTube video, and there are multiple, what do you say, things going on in the internet. Like there's a guy called Samuel Denner who has given a prediction in 1875, and his prediction has worked until date, pretty much accurate. And as per his current prediction, 2006 is the year when the downturn will come, and it will continue till 2032, and then from 2032 to 35 there is a lot of room to make money. So do you still believe in this philosophy? No, I know it's a stupid question, but
no, again, I don't have a point of view. I'm like, I couldn't care less if it's up or down. The best thing about being an SIP investor is when it's down, you're buying more units. When it's up, you're not buying so many units, but it cost averages out over a long period of time. And I'm good, Mike.
Okay. Yeah.
Thanks. Don't care. Thank you.
Ankur, somebody is saying they have a question. Can I allow them if it is okay?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Okay. Sadiq, if you don't raise your hand, I won't be able to see you. Sorry, I'm not able to locate you. What I would want you to do, one
I
second.
think Sadaf wants to
think
ask
it
a
was,
question.
I think it was Sadaf.
Sadaf was
Sorry,
on.
no, it's not there. Okay,
Yeah.
Sadaf. Okay, yes, go ahead, Sadaf, with your question.
Okay, hi.
He is,
Thank,
he is Wing Commander, Sadaf.
Fantastic.
thank you. Thanks for giving me this opportunity, Ankur. Firstly, like Javed, even I'm a big fan. I've been following you since some time now. Uh, as Saleha told, I'm a serving Indian Air Force officer and a fighter pilot. Why I need to tell you is that my question somehow is around this teachings, or you can say the financial understanding we have in defense forces. And that is a little bit confusing. So I'm just going to ask you a thing about it. In our job, I'm sure you know there are lots of uncertainty from flying the aircraft to crashes to death. Lots of things happens, right? So since our initial days, we have this concept of being told that there's a famous saying which is told to us: life is not about how many breaths you take; it is about moments that take your breath away.
Yeah.
So entire understanding is about live in a moment, do everything. Just there's not much of a basically future plan. And the thing which I just heard from you, as you said, once you get the payment, first invest in yourself. You spoke about the putting in SIPs, mutual fund, and blah blah, and then do the things. This somehow is contrary to what we have grown up. We have been told, no, just fulfill your dreams, live happily, pamper yourself, travel, and then you see, agar bachta hai to bachta hai. So how would you like to manage both, or try to tell some insight for defense officers like us, who is at times pretty much at variance than what you just tried to teach us?
So, you know what? It's not just the defense forces, while the defense forces certainly have a very, very different life and a very different context than most civilians, I would say. But in general, even government servants, there is a far more higher level of protection, security, post-retirement benefits that most civilians don't get, or most corporate employees or private sector employees don't get. So we have to plan for our retirement in a way that, say, a civil servant or a defense personnel doesn't necessarily need to. Your health insurance is taken care of, your gratuity will keep coming, your retirement fund will keep coming through, your pension will keep supporting, and so on. And for all good reasons, understandably so. And we're very proud and very happy for all the service that you extend. But I would still say, and this is a misconception, Sadaf, that when I say invest, I'm almost asking you to say, don't enjoy life. And it's not a and, it's a or, which means there is a budget that you need to allocate to do things in the right manner and be able to enjoy life. So if I invest, for example, it's not that I don't enjoy my life, or if somebody else has an SIP, that doesn't mean that they take away from things that they want to do right now. There is a simple rule. I don't know if you have heard of it, or it was covered in this course. It's called the 50-30-20 rule. It's a very simple rule to say that when you get 100 rupees of salary every month, devote 50 rupees to your needs. These are expenses that are mandatory for you. So your rent, your EMI, your food, your utilities, etc. Devote 30 rupees for your wants, your desires. So that could be the party, that could be the vacation, that could be the phone, that could be everything that you want to do to live life. And then devote 20% to your investments or your future. And the only difference that I'm talking about, the wealthy and the poor mindset, is the wealthy mindset says, when I get the 100, I invest the 20 first and then make do with the remaining 80. While the poor mindset says, I will spend the 50, I'll spend the 30, and if I have 20 left, I will invest. But if it is 0 left, I won't invest. And that's the difference.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. It makes sense. Thank you so much.
We have other questions in the chat box. Gaurav, your question I'll send to Ankur, and I'll request him to reply on the email. And I know that he will do it, the kind of generous person that he is. May I request all of you to please put your cameras on so that I can take a gallery view, a quick shot, and then we can leave this and leave Ankur from here. Wait 1 second, just let me remove the spotlight from Ankur also. And 1 second.
Awesome. Love it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here. Our warmest, heartfelt thanks to you.
Thank you so much. God bless you all the way, and good night, everyone. Have a wonderful year, week,